Hey Jack, it's Dad. How are you? I thought I'd have a Coke, think about you for a bit. I've been thinking about you all day, wondering how you're doing. This helps me a little to just sort of talk to you a little bit. You should come closer. It's Godzilla Jim. I'm not a big fan of that camera angle because it's a bully camera angle. How's that? Look a little softer. This blocks the light behind the computer a little bit, so it's not so bright. I'm very light sensitive. Seems like now. I don't know why. Feels like my eyelids are thinner. I hope you've been having some fun doing stuff with your mom. I sure miss you, and yeah, I just miss you a lot. I've been leaving these little notes. I was trying to think of some of the other stuff I'd say, but so much of it goes, oh, pardon me, a lot of it goes a little deeper than I suppose conversations you're ready for, but there's so much stuff in the world I worry about. And if someone had maybe worried about it for me, I might have done a little bit better. And I want you to know that I think education is really important, and doing well in whatever you're doing for education. And I mean important as like, oh, if you don't make it. I just mean it's important to keep trying until you figure out a way that works for you in learning, right? Like there's always more than one way to figure something out. I didn't even know they were teaching me fractions in school, and they were using like a pie graph and cutting like a circle in half and quarters and stuff, and I didn't understand it. And even though I'd actually been using fractions when I worked for my dad when I was like 6 years old, so I was utilizing fractions on a tape measure just after I started grade 1. That was the first year and the first summer I worked. In 1973, 73, 74. And I never, in school, like I never got fractions. It never clicked because of the way they taught it. It just didn't click for me. I understood halves, quarters, and things like that. But when they were doing, 7/19ths and all that other stuff, none of it made sense. But the principles of those things are all the same. So once you learn the principles, it doesn't really matter. But I was always missing a step. I didn't learn fractions until I got into grade 10, if you can imagine. I finally had a teacher that was working through the same old workbooks, but was trying different things to help us understand, and then I got it. And once I got it, I just click, and then boom, I had all of those steps. So it's just little things like that where I was hoping that I would be beside you to help and help you find those avenues of enlightenment where a light goes off for you and you just kind of get stuff. And I just thought if somebody was thoughtful and creative and beside you when you were having trouble with anything, that it could be an advantage. When I grew up, I got called stupid by everybody except my sister. and fat, and but most of all, I was just pretty convinced that I was really stupid and lazy. That was the other thing that my dad and my brother had kind of put on me. They decided I was lazy. And I don't think they understood the mind of a sensitive kid, especially after what I went through with my dad's abuse and stuff. So everything cut me deep. And it made life hard. And I was brought up to understand that people were honest, and then the moment I stepped into the world, that was just the exact opposite. They are not honest. You can't rely on people to do anything, and can certainly never rely on them, especially when money is involved, to tell the truth. They just won't. And I think of these people like greedy humans like that. I think of them as like, well, I just pity them. I guess that's all. And just worship money, and it's a hollow pursuit. I wish I had lots of money so that I could give lots of money away, but you can see how that mindset doesn't actually lend itself to being a good money maker. I guess I'm just babbling, but those are the kind of things I want to talk to you about and keep you posted. Like, I learned all of that the hard way, and I wasn't prepared for it, and I never understood it, and it just left me really, really scarred. And I was hoping to, help you find a better experience through your lifetime, especially through learning and through whatever socializing looks like in the future for kids like you, and whatever future we have left. I guess that's why I'm making these notes, these little video notes for you. I can't imagine how hard life is going to be for you. It's been terrible for me. And it's not so much that my life per se was terrible, but what happens inside my head's been terrible. And I really was hoping not to leave that with anybody, and I'm hoping that you do better, and that even if you have some trouble, that with my help you could get through it a little better. It's not easy, and I can tell that you're a really sensitive and observant and kind-hearted kid. Everybody loves you. When we walk around the neighborhood, you're like a celebrity, and you wave at people, and they're so excited to have a wave from you. It just means everything to them. They all refer to you as their baby Jack. There's our Jack, there's our Jack. I hear it all over the place. And there's a lady that gives you little ladybugs as gifts, and you run up and down on her ramp, and her name is Dawn, and she's very kind. And she was very adamant that she wanted you to continue playing on the ramp, even though there was a gate on it. That was for dogs. It wasn't for Jack. Jack gets to come and play. So hopefully we can get back there soon and roll some marbles around and say hello to Dawn if she's out. I'll let you go for now. I love you, Jack.